This is Minty1 coming at you with part 2 of Fixing Missing Points tutorial. So let's dive in. Just a quick rehash, what is the problem? Well, if you are missing weapon set points that you know you should have, I will tell you what happened to them and how to get them back. What happened to them is you probably accidentally did like I did and spent 2 weapon set skill points to take an extra passive point. I know that sounds weird, but I did the math on my passive tree, and we'll walk you through how to do the math yourself and show in-game proof demonstrating this that you can reproduce yourself. So your first thought might be, oh no, I have to refund all of my points to get the weapon set points that I'm missing back because I have no idea where on my tree I made this mistake. Well, the good news is GGG solved this little problem. They just haven't figured out a way how to tell you yet. See, what you can do is you can use regular points you get from leveling up to spec into weapon set 1 or 2. This might sound counterintuitive, like you would be getting less points, but this actually balances out either way you slice it because of the extra points you already spent. Now, whether you actually want to use your regular points from leveling up to spec into weapon sets, or if you want to spend your points on regular passive points, is going to depend on your build and what you're doing. So if you don't want to spec into weapon set points, then don't, and do what's best for your build right now, and you can always fill out the fringes of your tree later. Just know, if you spend too many of the points, then you might end up having to refund some points so you can spec into weapon sets, stuff like that. But let's continue on. Here is a quick demonstration of this behavior in action. You see, if I refund this 1 weapon set point, then it suddenly says I have 2 whole points, where I only had 1 whole point from leveling up before. That is because I have 1 weapon set 1 point that I can spend. So when I add the second weapon set 2 point, then I have 1 whole regular point I can spend if I want to. And remember, what it won't let you do is it won't let you spend full points where you only have weapon set points. So it counts as 1 whole point if you want to spend it that way, because then you're doubling up on the same point. So this is how we made the mistake that made us think that we lost weapon set points when actually we just spent 2 at once. So let me show you what happens when I select weapon set 1. I have 1 weapon set 1 point available and 1 level point available, and you can see it lets me spend 2 weapon set 1 points. It lets me spend my point that I got from leveling as a weapon set 1 point if I want to. And so either way, this balances out in the end. So moving on to the math. You might think this is easy, but it gets a little tricky. So how should we do this math? Well, the first step is going to be accounting for all of those pesky points in a way that lets us retrace our steps. So if something isn't adding up, we can go back and redo the math really quick. Because honestly, it gets a bit tricky if you don't have a method for keeping track of these. And there's one step in the math where if you're trying to account for all of the points, that is kind of tricky. So now let's compare my skill tree to my notation method. You can see we break our skill tree into branches, which we represent with simple lines. So, step 1, we count all of the points in each branch and note them as weapon set 1 on the left, then regular passive points in the middle, and weapon set 2 on the right. And after we do that, we might want to go back step by step and make sure we counted correctly. Step 2. Then we add up all of the regular passive points. And again, if that number is higher than the level we are, so if the number of regular passive points is higher than the level we are, we know for certain that we spent multiple weapon set points to take regular passive nodes. Step 3. We add the total number of weapon set points that we have unlocked. That is the number beside the weapon set. So not the points that we just counted, but the number beside the weapon set counter. We add those together. So if you're at the end game and you got all of your points, then you should have 48 total. So 24 each. Then we add that to our level, and that'll tell us how many points we should have total. So we're trying to find our total. Then step 4. We add the number of weapon set 1 and weapon set 2 points you actually have on the tree to your level. Step 5. We subtract that number from how many points you should have, and that should equal the amount of weapon set points that you are missing. Step 6. We confirm that this is how many weapon set points you are missing by adding the weapon set points that we have counted on our tree together and subtracting that number from how many weapon set points it says you unlocked. And if you were not able to follow the steps that we just took, take my word for it that it balances out and eventually everything will be fine. So just know that that's the way to solve the problem, not respecing your entire tree, but just investing in nodes one way or the other. So you can either decide to spend 2 to get 1 regular node, or you can spend your leveling points to spec into weapon set 1 and 2. So you can simply continue playing without messing with your tree and respec, only the things that you really need to fix your tree, not respec the entire thing, regular stuff as you go along. And when you feel like it, you can always invest in weapon set 1 and 2 if you like. So if this video helped you at all, leave a like so I know that someone actually saw it. And this is Minty1 saying good luck, have fun. Peace.